Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Lots About Something podcast. This is the podcast where we, the Lots, always talk about something, and hopefully it's going to be something enjoyable, something that's going to keep your attention. Hopefully it's going to help you pass your time away while you're walking, running, sleeping, whatever it is. Driving, whatever it may be. Hey, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it so much, whether you are watching us on Spotify or you are listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, whatever platform. Thank you so much for being here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Chris. I'm one of your hosts, and I am joined by my wife, my bride, Christy. How are you doing today, Christy?
Doing good. Doing good. I was going to say this, guys. If y'all are driving and watching us on Spotify, be careful.
That's true. That's pretty.
Be careful, because I don't want you spilling your coffee, spitting some coffee out and wrecking while you're watching us on Spotify.
I think if they're watching, I think they got more issues than spitting out coffee.
You think so?
Yeah, they shouldn't be watching and driving.
Because y'all might have an accident. Don't be doing that now.
Yeah, don't watch and drive. Watch later. You can watch us on Spotify, but just do it later. Just not while you're driving.
I agree.
Yeah. It helps out, and it keeps you safe. And we want that. We want for you to... I mean, listen, we only have like 7 listeners, right? Mm-hmm. So if one of you get hurt, you're going to significantly drop our listenership. So we want you to be safe.
You know, you say we have 7 listeners.
Yeah.
But I don't agree. I feel like there's more people out there.
How many do you
I don't
think?
know.
Like 8?
But from comments that I hear from you or just people in general, they're getting something from somewhere.
All right. So to that point, yes, I agree. I say that about the 7 listeners jokingly. To that point, though, I actually had a guy come up to me at church. His name's Brian Martin. I don't know if he'll ever hear this, but he shocked me. He came up to me after church today and said, "Hey, I've been listening to some of the podcasts." And I was surprised. I was like, "Really? Awesome. You're number 8, bro. Welcome to the club."
So do you remember who you were supposed to give a shout out to last week? You still don't remember?
I did try to go back and remember it. Nobody came up to me and said, "Hey, it was supposed to be me." I really did try to remember who it was, but I don't.
All right. It wasn't anyone at the birthday party last week?
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know.
I don't know either.
But man, we're back, and I got another really great episode for you. Got a couple things we want to do. A couple things we want to talk about. I've got another surprise for you, Christy.
That's exciting.
It's a game, but I'm going to be honest, you are not going to love this game.
Oh, I can't even tell you. You know I don't like surprises.
I know that you don't.
I'm not a surpriser. So.
But that's what makes it the best. Oh, I do have to say this too. And then we'll get into our first segment. But my buddy Ganker, I talk about Ganker a pretty good bit. He's my buddy, and Ganker actually told me, he said, "Guido, I won't do my Ganker voice. I do have a Ganker voice,
well,
but
they don't know you as
they won't know Ganker. His name's Chris, like my name, but I call him Ganker." He told me, he said Guido, which is my name. Yeah, it's a gamer name.
It's not your name.
It's not my name. Yeah, it's my gamer name. He said, "Guido," he said, "I hate to tell you this, but Christy makes the podcast." And so I think you were developing quite the fan base from the podcast.
That's so exciting. I love to know that there's fans out there waiting to hear what I have to say.
Well, here's what I love is, and we talked about this, I think it was last week we talked about this, is more and more people are getting to see a more genuine side of who you are. And I like that. And so that's, that's a good thing.
It is. Thank you, Ganker. I so appreciate that.
Yeah. So I told Christy that earlier, I think at lunch today, and I made her. Yeah, now your head's getting a little bit bigger. No.
It's blowing up. No,
I don't think so at all.
Just kidding.
All right. So we've got a couple things.
We do need to shout out too.
Oh, we got another shout out?
We got a shout out.
Okay.
We got our newest little listener. He's probably listening this morning with his newest mommy, the newest mommy we know.
Okay.
So, did you want to tell?
Well, I thought, all right, so we'll let that lead into what's new.
Oh, I can't say. Okay.
Yeah, you can say, but I think let's let that lead into what's new. So
I'm
what's
going to
new
shout
is
it out later.
What's new is a segment that we do where we talk about what's new, what's been happening since the last time that we did the podcast. So I think from that, go right into
the shout out. So listen up, guys. Anticipation. Building up the anticipation for what's about to transpire.
Insert drum roll.
Bum, 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 bum.
Hold on, wait.
That was my drum impression.
That was your drum roll? Was that the drum roll that was supposed to build up?
Yeah.
Do it again. What was it?
Bum, 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 bum.
Sounds almost like Star Wars.
No, it doesn't.
It does. Like, if you went into bum, 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 bum,
bum, bum, bum. See? It's like a horn and a drum all together.
It sounds nothing. It sounds nothing like a horn or a drum.
Just continue on. That was my drum impression.
Okay, all right. Okay. So that's your drum. Well, you're the one talking. This is your shout out.
You told me to wait.
No, we're here. We're here now.
What's new in it?
Yes, we're
all right. So let's what's new it. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So, Chris's sister and Tony had their baby.
Bum, 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum.
Man, there's so many drum rolls happening right now.
It's so exciting.
No, it is.
She had a very long labor, and we're glad that her baby's here, baby Callaway.
Baby Cal.
He's our newest listener today. I'm sure she's listening to this today, and I wanted to give a shout out to our newest listener, the youngest listener that we have on the podcast.
I'll say this. I will say this. I say this often. Not all newborns are cute. It's not their fault, but it's just they have to grow into their cuteness. Mm-hmm. This little fella, and no bias because he's my nephew, but man, he is a cute little buddy.
Cute little dude.
He is a cute little buddy. He came out cute.
Perfect little bundle of joy.
Yeah. So he congratulations to them. Stephanie and Anthony they're going to be great parents, and we're really happy for them. He was 7 pounds. Even 18 inches. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Yes. So that was my little shout out. So that's what's new.
Yeah. So that's part of what's new. What else do you have that's new? What else do you have that's going on that's new for you?
So I've had a great weekend, eventful weekend. So
awesome.
Emma went on a little retreat.
Yeah, she went away with church, their fall student retreat. It's only a couple of days long. They leave Friday, come back on Sunday. She's already home now.
Very tired.
She's tired, but she had a blast.
And she was a whole new Emma there.
Yeah, we kept getting videos of her like dancing on the stage, and just inappropriate ways, of course.
Just having a great time singing and
hanging out with her friends and just living her best life. Yeah,
so she did that. Lily was home and then worked and then home again with us. And Friday, was it Friday or yesterday? When did I want the gun cake? It was Friday.
It was Friday.
No, it was Saturday after we got back from getting our groceries from Kroger, which y'all all know we do on Saturday. And I come home and I said, I think I want a bundt cake. And we have a nothing bundt cake here in Aiken now.
Explain what a bundt cake is, because everybody out in the world may know. But if you told me a bundt cake and I hadn't seen it before, I wouldn't know what that is.
So if you're ever in an area and you see a nothing bundt cake, B-U-N-T-E is how they spell it.
No. Isn't it B-U-N-D-T?
B-U-N-D-T? I don't know.
Bundt cake?
I don't know.
I don't think it's B-U-N-T-E.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't care.
Okay, all right.
You keep looking at while I keep talking. Well, it's a little bundt cake, and they're little mini ones, and they put icing on them. The best cream cheese I've ever had. And they do different flavors, and you can buy you a little cake or a big cake depending on what you want. So I decided I wanted one. But when this bundt cake place opened, they would give you a little cooler, a little baggy cooler. And if you take it inside, you can get 4 bundt cakes and get one free. And so instead of me going to get 1 bundt cake, I came home with 5.
But all right, but they're not full-size cakes.
No, they're little mini.
They're like little mini cakes.
They're bigger than a cupcake. Mm-hmm.
They're bigger than a cupcake, but they're mini cakes.
I should go get one.
And it's not a deal. because they trick you into buying 4 more. I mean, 3 more than what you're wanting to buy.
Oh no,
so it's not a deal.
4. We get 4,
and then you get a 5th one
and
free.
we get 5. Yeah.
So.
It's a deal though.
That's okay.
It's a deal because who wants just one cake when you can get? And no, not ask. We have 4 people that live in the house, and I didn't want to share my cake. So when you want to get some, you get a free cake if you get 4. So
well, you don't get a free cake because you have to pay for 4 of them to get a free one.
It's still free, and they clip. Listen, and you clip your little card 4 times to get another free one.
Well, you have to pay a whole bunch of money just to get one free cake, so it's not free.
It's worth it.
It's
worth it for me. I'll do it now. I have to be careful because
you love a bundt cake.
I can eat almost the whole.
You love a bundt cake, but you specifically love the nothing bundt cakes. I will say this about the nothing bundt cakes, and just to make a comment about it, I really like the mini cakes better than their bigger cakes. I don't care for the bigger ones, like the full size cakes. The ones that you get are normally moist and tasty, and so I do like those.
So
okay,
that's what's new.
All right, what else? What else do you have that's new that's happening in your world?
On my weight loss journey, for everyone that's following, I've been working hard at it, and I've been gaining for the last couple weeks, so I haven't said anything. I don't let y'all know when I gain. I just don't talk about it. But I did weigh this week, and I had lost 2.1 pounds, which is basically what I was gaining back the last couple weeks. So, it's kind of a seesaw, up, down, teeter-totter kind of thing.
But back and forth.
I was excited I'm maintaining it. It's just going up and down. So
yeah, okay,
that's something else.
I see. I was trying to think. For me, I spoke at church again today. So that's twice in the last couple of weeks.
But you like to speak,
I
so
do.
That's not a dread or anything. You enjoy speaking.
I think I like to speak. I don't like to prepare to speak. I like the actual speaking part of it. I don't like the preparation. It's kind of like I like to be somewhere, but I don't want to travel there. You know what I mean? So if I could just be out at the beach, I'm fine with that. It's the driving to the beach that I don't care for. And so speaking's like that. I like to speak. I enjoy that part of it. The preparation, the work to get to that point, not a big fan of it. So, but I do, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm thankful that I get to do that. So, that's what's new. And bless you.
Excuse me.
No, you're good. And then I was trying to think if there was anything else really that was new. Speaking of cake, we actually had a lady at our church that, now a couple weeks ago we talked about how we got a cake from someone that had made it for somebody else. It was a Mountain Dew cake.
Yep.
And but the people weren't there. We ended up getting that cake. Well, this week, someone actually brought us a cake. It had our name on it, and they gave it to us as an appreciation. And so I thought it was a very nice gesture.
Very, very thoughtful.
And it's a beautiful looking cake. It's a good looking cake. We hadn't eaten it yet, but
it's a homemade lemon pound cake.
It looks delicious. And I'm excited to get into it.
I am too.
The problem is we still have one more free bundt cake that we paid for.
No,
we don't?
That's Emma's.
Oh, okay.
I bought her a chocolate one. I thought of everybody in the household.
Well, good thing I didn't eat it yesterday because it came really close to doing that last night. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know that was designated.
For someone
cake.
that doesn't want me to buy 5 bundt cakes, we were going to eat those 5 bundt cakes in a day.
I will eat them. I have no problem with that. And I really almost ate that sucker last night, but I decided not to.
I am going to have to double walk. This pound cake looks like...
So Miss Maria from our church got us this pound cake. It's a beautiful cake. It looks really good. I'm excited about getting into it. And I just thought it was a really kind gesture of her to think of us, for her to go out of her way to make make something for us, regardless of what it was. It could have been anything, but the fact that she thought of us and considered us was very kind. It was an appreciation effort on her end to us, and in response, I appreciated her appreciation. I was thankful for it. And so that kind of leads me into the topic of conversation that I wanted to get into, which was appreciation. And appreciate, how do we appreciate people? You are somebody specifically that you really like to feel appreciated. You like for someone to acknowledge that you have done something, that you have made an effort, that you have, worked really hard. Like if I come home and if it's been 3 minutes and I've not said anything about the kitchen or the living room, you will say, "Did you notice the kitchen? Did you notice the living room?" or whatever it is. And so you like appreciation. What is that? And I can't say I don't like appreciation, but for you, in your words, what is it about appreciation, being appreciated, being valued, being seen, that's so important?
I don't know. I think that's a good question. I feel like a lot of people, like, we don't do things to be appreciated. We do things really, I guess it's a servant's heart that we serve and do and do and do. But sometimes we do like to be acknowledged. Oh, wow, they've really gone out of their way to do this. Wow, They went above and beyond to do whatever. And not that we're saying, oh, appreciate me. It just feels nice sometimes to be appreciated for some things that you do.
No, I agree. And I think, and again, I don't want to repeat ourselves from something we talked about the other week, but going back to this thought was, when you serve something, when you're serving something, you do that because you want to, not because you want to get something from it. That is true servanthood. That is what true servanthood is. It is doing something to do it, not to get something back from it. But on the other end of that, when those things are recognized, it does help someone to feel valued. Like, you really do appreciate what I've done. It helps someone to feel seen. You see me. You know me. You acknowledge me. I think that for a lot of people crave and they long to be seen and to be known. And appreciation does that. Appreciation helps people to be seen. It helps them to be acknowledged. It helps them to be recognized for who they are and where they are. And that's a good thing.
Like this probably nothing. I mean, it may mean something, but like I seen last week at schools, there was custodian week.
Yeah.
And
okay.
they do,
I didn't know that. Okay.
They do I saw it on the schools, but they work really hard behind the scenes and hardly ever get acknowledged. And they don't work there to be acknowledged. I'm the custodian. But some schools acknowledged the custodians of the schools, and I think they're serving the school by cleaning. No one hardly ever sees it, and they're not saying acknowledge me, but to appreciate them and acknowledge them, to me, means something to them.
Yeah. No, I think so. Like, in a couple of weeks at our church, we're actually going to have a pastor's appreciation day. And it's a day that we set aside every single year where we take a portion of that day, a portion of that service, and specifically spend time thanking and acknowledging the pastor, but also the pastor's entire family. Mm-hmm. And yes, that is it's a church thing. It's something that we put on the calendar, but it's important for our church, and it's important for any kind of organization to appreciate those that are in that organization. And by the word organization, really, it means organization really could be broken down into any type of grouping of people. So a family, there needs to be an appreciation inside a family for, someone that is working, someone that is someone that's has done something inside the home, someone that does something on a regular basis. There needs to be an acknowledgement of that, not just an expectancy. And that's the thing about it. Appreciation is a lot of times people are doing what they need to do. It's their responsibility. It's their role. They don't do it for appreciation. It is something like I don't expect someone to say, yo, Chris, I really appreciate you working. Like that, I need to work. That is my responsibility. But you know what I do like? I do like the times where you look at me and say, I appreciate all of the hard work that you do to take care of the family. Mm-hmm. It acknowledges that everything that I'm doing that I would do anyway, that you appreciate it and value it. And so those things are important. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing for you. Like if I say, hey, I really appreciate the meals that that you've cooked this week. I really appreciate that you've done the laundry. Now, those are things that you do. Like you're going to do those all of the time, but it's an acknowledgement. It's an appreciation. And everybody, whether you say you want it or not, they need a level of appreciation in their life. Mm-hmm. And so I've got an article here. I love a good article.
Okay.
And the reason I like the articles is because it kind of gives us a base to jump off of and talk from. And so the article is from a website. Again, I'm not super familiar with it. Now, I will say this particular article is only 5 points. I did look at one that was 97 points. Are you glad that we didn't go with the 97-point article?
Like 97 points?
It had 97 points.
Yeah, no, we would have had to choose 5.
Oh, okay. All right. So this particular one is only 5, and it's from a website called Tracking Happiness. Okay? TrackingHappiness.com. And it's just simply 5 ways to appreciate someone. All right. So 5 ways to appreciate someone. I'm gonna read these to you, and you tell me what you think about these. I actually kind of like them. First one is this: put yourself in their shoes. So a way to appreciate someone is to put yourself in their shoes. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a good way to appreciate? Problem is, I wouldn't fit in your shoes.
They're not talking about that.
Oh, that's not what they were meant?
No.
Okay.
No, but I think to do something that someone else does for the day and you're not used to it.
Yeah.
It probably would bring some form of appreciation by the end of the day. Like if dads decided to do everything that the moms do for the whole day and give the mamas the day off, by the end of the day, the daddies will be glad the mamas are back and will show them a whole new appreciation by the end of the day.
Hey, it's like, have you ever seen those, I've never done it, I've never seen it. Have you ever seen those pregnancy suits and the men will put them on and wear them around?
And then they get shocked. Have you seen them get shocked?
I've seen that before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that seems miserable. All right. So, yes, I think someone could put themselves in somebody else's shoes by doing something. But I think the other side of that is, I don't know that you necessarily have to do it as much as you need to be able to like visualize, like, if I had to do that, how would I feel? How would I think?
Well, I'll just say this. I appreciate all that you do because I couldn't do what you do. Example, insert now. We were in the car the other day.
Hold on. Insert now?
My example. I'm inserting my example now.
So you needed to state that we were inserting the example?
Just being funny,
okay, all right.
Adding a little bit of humor to the podcast.
Like it.
That's all. We were in the car the other day, and the phone kept ringing. And you, remember when we talked about pet peeves? One thing that I didn't like, and it was listening on the phone in the car.
Yeah.
Hooking up to the Bluetooth and having the whole conversation for everyone to hear.
Yes.
Remember how I said I didn't like that?
I do remember that. Yes.
Well, we're still doing that. I mean, nothing has changed.
We haven't stopped.
Nothing has changed since that podcast. It's still happening.
Well, that's because it's safety. We can't drive.
We're in Staples parking lot.
Well, we had just pulled in. We were on the road.
Where was the other place we were at?
We were driving.
No, Duncan, wasn't it?
We were driving.
Mm-mm. We had a couple places we were at.
All right.
And you decided, I'm just going to make us listen. I had Zaxby's. It was a Zaxby's. And remember, we were in the drive-thru, and I was like, just park this car. I'm going to go in. I don't want to hear all these conversations. Remember?
Yeah.
And I remember going to Staples, and I said, I said, these phone calls are making me have a nervous breakdown. And you're like, this is what I do every day. I was like, well, that's you. That's not me, and I can't handle it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be in your shoes and answer phones all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. All right. Number two. Discover their love language. Discover their love language. So there's 5 love languages. If you're not familiar with this, essentially, I mean, very quickly, just to kind of break this down, 5 love languages. Essentially, this is how people interpret love. And so some people, not everybody interprets love the same. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes we give love the same way that we interpret love. So physical touch.
Not me.
Quality time.
That's me.
Words of affirmation.
Not me.
Gift giving.
Not me.
And acts of service.
That's me.
And so what happens a lot of times is it's almost like the best way I know to describe this is these are languages that you speak, that you understand, but just because you understand them and you receive from them doesn't mean that the other person does. Mm-hmm. So, for example, mm-hmm. Christy, you are a quality time person. Mm-hmm. I am not. I don't mind quality time, but for you, like you crave quality time. Now, what you don't crave is giving gifts. I love to get a gift, and I love to give gifts. And here's what happens. Here's what's interesting. Here's what happens in our relationship is, especially early on, to express my love to you, I would give you a gift. And that was an expression of my love. And to you, you were like, okay, thanks. You didn't give a rip about it. Right?
That's true.
Because you were like, well, whatever. Mm-hmm. But for you, spending time with you, that speaks volumes. Now, back to me, quality time is nice, but it doesn't fill my, and to use this phrase, it doesn't fill my love tank, quote unquote. Now, go ahead.
Well, your love tank's going to be a little low for a little bit.
Well,
you're going to have to give me some love language money if you want me to give you a love language gift.
Well, no, I'm not talking about us, but I think just in reference here's the point that I think is important in this is in order to help the other person feel loved, you have to begin to speak the language that they receive love from. So, for example, if I want you to feel love from me, I cannot give you a gift. I have to give you quality time because it's what speaks to you. The same thing is true for me. Quality time doesn't speak to me, but words of affirmation do. And so words of encouragement.
Well, wait a minute. You're more than one now.
Well, people have multiple.
Well, you're naming them all.
You have multiple. You are quality time and you are acts of service. Those are your two dominant
mm-hmm.
receptacles, ways to receive love. Yeah.
So now your words of affirmation and gifting?
Well, that didn't just start. It's been that way. It may be breaking news to you, but that didn't just start.
I knew you like gifts.
Yeah. So here's what I'm saying though. Here's the point. That part is irrelevant. But here's the thing that is important.
We're helping somebody out.
You've got to be able to speak the other person's language. So if I only tried to give you gifts and you never felt love from me, that's my problem, not yours. It's now my responsibility to learn what your love language is and then speak that language so that you can receive love from me. And that, if you will do that and you'll take the time to do that, that is a form of showing value and importance and appreciation to the people in your life. You agree with that?
I do.
All right. Number three is this: say thank you and really mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had somebody say thank you and you don't think they meant it?
Mm-hmm.
Our girls do that to each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Say thank you. Thank you.
It's like the worst words to ever say to coming out of their mouth because they don't truly want to say it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I mean, thank you is showing appreciation. You know?
Yeah.
You feel appreciated when someone actually says thank you and they mean it.
Yeah. Saying thank you. And sometimes just saying thank you is value within itself. Mm-hmm. It's important within itself. Just those small words. Thank you. Man, thank you so much.
You know, and it could be like people from behind the scenes, like we were talking about earlier, that do things that somebody else wouldn't do.
Yeah.
But then someone's telling them, thank you. I see you, you know.
So I'll give you an example, and I'm not saying this to say, look what I did, but I want to just give an example. The other day we had church, and the band, the worship team that was up there, ended up being up on the stage for like the whole time. They ended up singing and playing the whole time. And so that was what they were supposed to do. That's what they were there to do. It wasn't planned that they would play as long as they did, but that's the way it ended up happening. And I just, they were up on the stage talking right after church, and I just went up there and said, hey guys, I just want to say thank you for what you did tonight. I know that wasn't what we had planned, but I really appreciate it. You guys did great. Now, I meant that as genuine as I could because, man, I appreciated what they'd done. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, my hope in that is that they felt that was genuine, and that it's helped them to feel valued. Mm-hmm. And that's all we can do is we can say thank you, and we can't necessarily worry about how it will be received. We just have to worry about how it's delivered. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important. Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 4, celebrate victories. So if somebody has a victory in their life, celebrate that.
I could see where people appreciate that. It's just showing them that they appreciate by celebrating the victory.
Yeah. If somebody's got a win in their life, celebrate it. Mm-hmm. Make a big deal about it. Hey, somebody's got something really big that's going on, something really cool that's happened. Let it be known, let it be acknowledged. And then that leads to the last one, which is acknowledge them publicly. And this is something that I think is really important for appreciation in general. Is it's one thing to thank someone privately, but it's something else to thank someone publicly. Now, you can't do it to be seen, to be acknowledged, but I think there is value in saying publicly, hey, I really appreciate this person for what they've done. It means a lot. Mm-hmm. And so don't just appreciate people privately. Don't let the only time that you appreciate someone be publicly, because then it'll be perceived, oh, well, they just did it, just so they could be seen. Mm-hmm. So do it both. Do it both ways, privately and then also publicly, and that'll help you. And
you can say thank you, but you can send cards for appreciation, or send little gifts, or
there's tons of ways to do appreciation.
Like Miss Marie giving us the cake today.
Give a cake, write a card, take someone out to eat. Mm-hmm. Whatever you buy a gift, whatever it is that you want to do. I don't think there's any limits to the ways that you show appreciation. Just do it. Just show appreciation. And so this week, appreciate somebody. Find somebody in your life and appreciate them. Mm-hmm. And don't worry about getting appreciated back. Just do it and see what happens. Did you like that?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Wasn't too long. And
I'm excited about this appreciation cake that we're going to get into.
Me too.
I'm also excited about this last segment that I want to get into with you. a couple of weeks ago, we talked about. Well, let me say this. There's an interesting story. I don't know if we've ever told this about you when you and I first met. Shortly after you and I met, I went on a trip, and I went to Indianapolis.
This is not a states thing, is it?
Okay.
Is this a states thing?
Just listen to me. I went to Indianapolis.
This is not going to go well.
Okay. And the entire time, you thought that I was in New York. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So, is it okay that I tell that story?
It's out there now.
It's out there now. So I thought it would be fun to just test how well that you know where cities are. I'm going to give you a city, and you just say what state that they're in. Okay?
I feel like I'm about to fail a test.
No, you're not. You're going to do really well at this. All right, I'm gonna give you I'll give you a couple easy ones, okay? All right? The first one, and this is a random city generator, okay? I feel like you're really nervous about this.
I've already told you I'm not good with states, so
Okay. All right.
Here we go, folks.
No, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. This is softball. This one's really easy. I'm just going to throw it out there. Atlanta.
Georgia.
Good job. That's good. That is correct.
Okay.
That was a good one. That's right down the road from us. We've been there before.
Uh-huh.
Now, this next place we would like to go. I have never been. You have never been, but we have both said that we'd like to go. But the one hesitancy is you don't want to fly. And so getting to this location wouldn't be impossible. It'd just be long from where we live.
Are we going to stay in the United States?
I am going to stay in the United States.
Because if we go,
I'm not traveling.
If we go outside of the United States, we're not going to do very well.
I'm not doing that. Okay. All right. Ready?
Okay.
We also watch a TV show based out of this place.
Okay.
Okay. So this is going to be good. Las Vegas.
Nevada.
There you go.
I'm not going to do as bad as you think.
Okay, you're doing great.
Let's just keep going.
All right. Honolulu.
Hawaii.
Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, hold on.
You're going to try to trick me.
No, I'm not.
I feel it.
I promise you I am not. I only want what is best for you. Okay. Dallas.
Texas.
Good job.
Uh-huh.
Good job. Mm-hmm. I'm waiting on you're saying keep going. I'm waiting on this random generator. Okay. All right. Seattle.
Washington.
Good job. All right. Let's do another one. Are you surprised that no?
This is okay.
Okay. Indianapolis.
Indiana.
Hey, there we go.
I had an aunt that lived in Indiana.
Did you?
South Bend, Indiana.
Really? I didn't know that.
You want me to tell you something I remember about her house?
I would love for you to do that.
So I remember going to her house one time, and she had some narrow stairs that went up like to the attic, but it was like a room up there. It wasn't like weird or anything. But for some reason, you know how attics have like the boards and stuff? In my mind, I had to be careful how I walked because I just thought for sure I was going to fall through the floor. No way was that probably happening, but in my mind, being a little kid, I thought if I don't step in the right place, I was going to fall through the floor. But she had a record player up there.
Okay.
And me and my sister found a record, and it was the Carolina Gamecocks record player song.
Okay.
You know what that is?
The fighting song.
Go Carolina, to the Gamecocks, C-A-R-O-L-I-N-A, go Cox. And I just remember that growing up going to my Aunt Linda's.
Okay.
Just a fun memory from South Bend, Indiana.
All right. Hey, you brought up that memory. It reminded me of another memory I went to Dallas when I was a kid. I actually went back there recently since you and I have been married very briefly. It's been a couple years ago, though. But when I was a kid, I went on a vacation. And do you remember the TV show Dallas? Mm-hmm. So we actually went and visited the house that show was filmed at. So that was a lot of fun. They actually did a remake of that now, right?
Is that Dynasty? Or is that different? Dallas and Dynasty?
Hold on, I don't know. Wasn't there a TV show called Dallas?
I don't know. I've tried watching Dynasty on Netflix, but it's not very good.
Okay, so you're not a big fan of Dynasty.
It's just kind of slow moving, but...
Okay.
Who had that? Who was in that?
I don't.
You don't know who's in Dallas?
I don't remember, to be
like
honest. J.R. Ewing. I tell you who was in it. Do you remember the dad in Step by Step?
Yeah.
With was that Suzanne Summers?
Uh-huh.
Was that right?
I
Suzanne
think so.
Summers?
Mm-hmm.
And they had the kids, and then they got married. So the dad that was in that show was in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't know that I remember anything about it. My mom used to watch it, but she sent me to bed, and I was not allowed to watch it.
Mm-mm.
So you know what that meant? There was some freaky stuff going on.
Stuff you wasn't supposed to watch.
Stuff I wasn't allowed to watch at the time. All right, here we go. Back to our city generator.
Okay.
All right, you're doing really good. Denver.
Colorado.
Good job. All right, I am going to try. Let's try one.
These aren't hard. It's
Okay.
other things that are hard and I probably couldn't get.
Okay.
But let's keep at it.
All right. Here is I told you I wouldn't go out of the United States, but I think you can get this one. Okay. Are you ready? It keeps popping up, and I feel like you can get it.
Are you trying to help me?
Yeah, it keeps popping up. All right.
Well, if I don't know it, you're just going to have to say it.
Okay, I will. All right. Berlin. Have you ever heard of Berlin before? All right. It's in another country.
And I said, let's don't do other countries.
I know, but I feel like you could get this one.
I'm trying to do my Amazing Race vibes here.
That's how you identify where people
where they live.
You live vicariously through Amazing Race.
They go to all kinds of places.
Okay, all right.
You're going to have to give me the first letter.
All right, it's the country. It starts with the letter G.
Germany?
Yes, Berlin, Germany.
I would not have gotten that.
Okay, all right.
That was tough. Okay.
That was a tough one?
That was a toughie, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll give you one or two more. Okay. You should be able to get this because you're a baseball fan.
Okay.
San Francisco,
California.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's not
Do
bad.
you know the baseball team for? That should have been the question. Is I give it to you, and then you have to then tell me what that team, like baseball team.
You're making it tougher.
No, I'm
Look,
not.
I'm doing better
No,
than
you're
you
doing
thought.
great. No, you're doing
So now
great.
you're trying to sit here and be tough on
I
me,
am
so
not.
I make it harder.
I think you're doing great. But just for fun,
Throw
do
it out
you
there.
know the baseball team that plays in San Francisco?
Baseball?
Baseball.
Oh, boy.
Or football. Do you know the football team? Okay, what's the football team?
49ers?
Yeah, good job.
What's it? San Francisco Giants?
Yes. Good job. Great job.
All right, throw another one at me. Baseball. I'm a baseball fan.
All right. Okay, here's the last one we'll do. Here's the last one, City. They don't have a sports team that I know of. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't like that one. That's going to be really tough. Okay. Cleveland.
Ohio.
Yeah, good job.
Indians. Bears.
What?
Cleveland Indians.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. you're
Chicago
right.
Bears.
Chicago Bears.
Oh, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, Ohio, Chicago are two different things. Scratch that off.
Yeah.
Cleveland Indians.
You confused me for a second there.
Cleveland.
All right, so LeBron James,
I wouldn't have done that.
he originally played for this basketball team. You don't know? You're not a big basketball fan.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Cavaliers.
I would have never got that.
Yeah, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Now, you talk about the Bulls. I might know them.
Where's the Bulls
Chicago.
at? Okay.
I used to like the Chicago Bulls back when Jordan and Pippen and Kerr.
Yeah.
And
yeah, those are the good old days.
Good old days, yeah.
Good old days.
Squirrel moment, but
yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, you did pretty good at that, Christy.
Well, thank you.
I'm actually pretty proud of you. I was a little
nervous.
concerned, but you actually did really, really well. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know cities pretty good.
Those kind of cities, but
yeah.
There's certain questions you throw at me, and I would not.
Okay.
So.
Hey, your knowledge is sound. So, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you feel thank you for real?
Yes, I did. I felt a valid thank you. And for that, I am appreciative. All right, guys. Hey, that's about it for our podcast today. I told you it was going to be something. And that's what we did. We talked about something. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for being here. Again, thank you so much if you're watching on Spotify or maybe you're listening on one of the platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Anchor, or even Spotify itself on the listening side of that. So we appreciate it. Wherever you listen, if you want to keep up with what's going on and what's happening, I'd love it if you would go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It always lets you know when a new episode is updated and uploaded. It'll pull up in your feed and you'll know that we've got a new episode. We generally do new episodes on Mondays, at least right now, Mondays at 5 a.m. But that may change. And so if you hit the subscribe button, that way you can stay up with us and always know when we have a new episode that's live, and you can be a part of that. Also, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get some feedback from you. What did you think? Maybe share a way that you have felt appreciated before, or a unique way that you had shown appreciation before. I think those are always really cool stories and different things that you could do to maybe show someone that you appreciate them. So we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get your feedback. You can always contact us on Instagram, Chris Lots, Christy Lots. Shoot us a message. We'd absolutely love to hear from you if you would do that. Okay, guys? Well, hey, again, that's all that we've got for you today. We appreciate so much you being here. Thank you for hanging out with us a little bit today. And we look forward to seeing you next time. And until then,
see ya.
See ya. Hey, have a great day.